Hey there. Welcome to Books Podcast. In today's episode, we are here with another amazing book, that is Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life, by Héctor García and Francesc Miralles. And in this podcast, we will get to know about how to find your true purpose, stay active and fulfilled, build meaningful connections, embrace mindfulness, and cultivate habits that lead to a long and happy life. All right, let's dive into this Ikigai thing.
Yeah, that's good.
You've sent me these excerpts from Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life. I've got to say, I'm really intrigued by this idea of finding your purpose and how it connects to living longer.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. So by the end of this deep dive, hopefully we'll have a good grasp on Ikigai and maybe even some takeaways for our own lives.
Absolutely. I think there's a lot to unpack here.
For sure. So the book kicks off by talking about Ikigai, this Japanese concept.
Right.
It's more than just adding years, right? It's about that reason to get out of bed sort of thing.
Yeah, it really emphasizes this idea that living with purpose, having that driving force, can be a major factor when it comes to longevity.
It all comes down to that purpose, Ikigai, like the book calls it, right?
Exactly.
And they actually break it down. It's
Yeah.
not just some mystical idea. They make it very concrete.
Yeah.
With these 4 overlapping areas: what you love to do, what you're good at, what the world needs, and of course, what you can get paid for.
It's like finding that perfect intersection
Yeah.
where your passions and skills can actually meet a real need in the world. And on top of that, you can make a living from it.
It makes so much sense when you put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no wonder people who find their Ikigai tend to be more passionate, more driven, more engaged with life overall.
That's fascinating. And the book doesn't just talk about it theoretically, right?
No, not at all.
They take us straight to Okinawa, Japan,
Mm-hmm.
a place famous for having a high concentration of centenarians, people living to 100 or older. It's like a real-world example of Ikigai in action.
Yeah, Okinawa was like a living laboratory for this concept.
Yeah.
And the book zooms in on a specific village,
Okay.
Ogimi. They call it the village of longevity. It's not just about their genes or diet. It's a whole cultural thing, like a whole different way of life.
The way they describe life in Ogimi is amazing. You've got people in their 80s and 90s singing karaoke,
Oh, yeah.
playing gate ball, tending their gardens. It totally changes how we usually picture aging.
And it's not just about staying active, but staying connected as well.
Right.
They have this amazing concept called Yumaro, which emphasizes teamwork and community support. They celebrate together, they help each other out, and it's clear that sense of belonging is huge in their long lives.
I love that. And there's the spiritual side too, right? With their practice of Ryukyu Shinto, which emphasizes respect for nature and honoring their ancestors. It's as if they've woven this tapestry of practices and beliefs that just supports a long, fulfilling life.
Absolutely. It challenges those typical Western notions of aging.
Yeah.
It's not about slowing down. It's about staying engaged, physically, socially, even spiritually. It reminds me of that Victor Hugo quote, 40 is the old age of youth, 50 is the youth of old age.
I love that. And the book goes right to the source, getting wisdom straight from the Okinawan centenarians themselves. They have all these insightful quotes. One that hit me was, eat and sleep and you'll live a long time. You have to learn to relax.
It seems so simple.
Yeah,
right?
like almost too obvious.
Yeah. But it raises the question, are we actually good at relaxing in this modern, always-on world?
That's so true. And I feel like that quote really points to the importance of balance.
It definitely does. They work hard, but they also know how to rest, to enjoy the simple things. It's not about pushing limits, it's about finding that sustainable rhythm in life.
And another quote that got me thinking was, the key to staying sharp in old age is in your fingers. From your fingers to your brain and back again. If you keep your fingers busy, you'll live to see 100.
That's a great one.
Immediately made me think of those intricate crafts they're known for, like pottery and weaving.
It's fascinating how they link manual dexterity and mental acuity.
Yeah.
It reminds us that staying active, physically and mentally, keeps our mind sharp. Use it or lose it, right? And that applies to our whole being, not just our bodies.
Exactly. And then there's this gem. Getting together with my friends is my most important Ikigai. Really highlights the power of connection, especially as we get older. It's not just about being busy, it's about staying connected to a community that supports you, nourishes you.
It really makes you wonder, how are we building those villages for ourselves in our modern lives? How do we create and nurture those deep, meaningful connections that seem so vital?
Those are such important questions, and I can't help but think of another centenarian's words. My secret to a long life is always saying to myself, slow down and relax. You live much longer if you're not in a hurry. It's like they've found the antidote to our frantic, fast-paced existence.
It's about shifting our perspective on longevity. It's not just about adding years to our lives, but adding life to those years. And a lot of that, it seems, is about find that inner peace, that sense of ease.
They really seem to have a different pace of life, more in tune with nature, the human spirit. And the book goes beyond just stories. It gives practical advice, starting with the Ikigai diet.
And what's cool about it, it's not about some crazy restrictions, it's not a fad diet. It's about, like, conscious choices.
Yeah.
Choosing good foods and this Japanese concept of hara hachibu.
Or hachibu. Yeah, I've heard of that. Eating till you're 80% full, right?
Exactly.
Kind of like intuitive eating, but with a portion control element.
It is. And the book points out this isn't just about, not overeating. It actually affects your body in some pretty wild ways. Studies show it can help with inflammation, insulin, even cell repair.
Wow. So it's not just about fitting into your genes.
No.
It's about helping your body heal and age well.
Precisely. And a big part of the Okinawan diet, variety.
Oh, okay.
Especially veggies. They go for at least 5 servings a day, way more than most people in the West.
And we're not just talking carrots and celery here.
Right.
It's all sorts of colorful stuff, packed with antioxidants.
Exactly. Things like Goya, a bitter melon. That's huge over there. Seaweed, packed with minerals.
Interesting.
This variety is key. They're getting a whole range of nutrients.
It makes sense.
And their cooking methods, a lot of steaming, stir-frying, that helps too. Preserves the good stuff.
Yeah, it seems like they really have a good handle on sugar and salt, too.
Oh, for sure.
The book mentions natural sweeteners like fruit or black sugar, salt used sparingly.
This focus on minimizing processed foods, all that added sugar, it's probably a big reason they have such low rates of heart disease and diabetes.
I can see that. And we can't forget green tea.
Ah, yes.
Big part of their diet. It's got antioxidants galore.
Especially EGCG. That one's been linked to so many health benefits. Cancer prevention, brain function, all sorts of things.
It's like the Okinawan diet is this perfect blend of tradition and, like, what science is finding out now.
It is. They've been reaping the benefits of green tea for centuries.
It makes you think food isn't just fuel, it's medicine. The Okinawans seem to really get that.
Absolutely. It's a holistic approach. It's not about counting every calorie, just choosing foods that are good for you and enjoying every bite.
Mindful eating, huh?
Exactly.
Sounds good to me. But it's not just about food. The book also talks about movement.
Yeah.
Not in the way you'd think, not crazy workouts or marathons.
No.
It's more about gentle movement, things that are good for the body and mind.
They really emphasize one practice, radio taiso.
Oh, I think I've seen videos of that.
It's been around in Japan for ages. Basically a series of simple exercises, very low impact, usually done together, outdoors.
It's like synchronized stretching with music playing.
That's a great way to put it. It's movement, community, mindfulness, all in one.
And the book also mentions yoga, tai chi, qigong, all those gentle but really effective practices.
Improving balance, flexibility, circulation, and of course, reducing stress, promoting relaxation. Huge for longevity.
What strikes me is they're not pushing themselves to the max. It's about finding joy in the movement.
It is.
Honoring the body, not punishing it.
Exactly. And that's a big theme with the Okinawans, right?
Yeah.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Work and rest, food and moderation, activity, but gentle activity. It's like all of these things working together to create a long, healthy life.
Absolutely. But it's not all sunshine and roses, is it?
Yeah.
The book talks about life's challenges, too, and how the Okinawans view resilience and wabi-sabi, both big parts of their culture.
Yeah.
Resilience, I get, bouncing back from setbacks. They even have that saying, fall 7 times, stand up 8.
It's about having that inner strength, to face hard times and keep
I
going.
also could see that.
And they connect resilience with this stoic practice of negative visualization.
Negative visualization. Isn't that like focusing on the worst case?
Not really.
Okay.
It's more about mentally preparing for challenges. Like, imagine the obstacles so they don't completely blindside you.
So you're more ready when things actually do go wrong.
Exactly. It's like building up that mental and emotional resilience.
I like that. And I think it goes hand in hand with wabi-sabi, which is all about embracing imperfection and impermanence.
Wabi-sabi is such a powerful concept. It's the opposite of our obsession with perfection, with things lasting forever.
It teaches us to see the beauty in the cracks, the wear and tear that comes with life.
Like finding beauty in the wrinkles on a loved one's face, or the little flaws in a handmade object.
Exactly. It's about accepting how life really is, ever-changing, and finding grace in that.
And that acceptance, letting go of striving for some impossible ideal, that can be so freeing.
You can.
It lets us focus on what matters, connecting with people, appreciating the present moment, finding joy in the simple things.
It's like they've figured out how to be content, not by controlling everything, but by accepting how things are.
Yeah, and that acceptance, that peace, that's going to be good for longevity too.
Absolutely.
Makes me think, have we missed the simple things trying to find the next big thing? But the book doesn't just leave us with philosophy, it gives us some rules, 10 of them, for finding your Ikigai.
Yeah, and they're surprisingly practical. Don't retire. It really makes you rethink retirement, doesn't it?
It's like they're saying staying engaged, finding ways to contribute, that's crucial for living a long life. Absolutely. It's not just about physical health either. It's mental, emotional, all of it. It's about purpose. Finding that purpose outside of the traditional work world, pursuing passions, connecting with your community, maybe even starting something new. Retirement doesn't have to be the end. It can be a whole new beginning.
I love that. And then rule number 2, take it slow. It seems kind of contradictory, right? First, stay active, then slow down.
It's not about being contradictory. It's about finding that balance, you know? They're talking about a mindful way of life, action and stillness, being present in each moment, enjoying the small things, not getting swept up in the rush.
Like savoring the flavor instead of just gulping it down.
Exactly.
And that makes me think of rule number 3. Don't fill your stomach. That's Harahachibo again, right?
It is. It's a core part of the Ikigai approach. And it goes beyond just portion sizes. It's mindful eating, paying attention to your body, really tasting your food, chewing slowly.
That's something everyone can benefit from, not just people trying to live longer.
I think so. It's about having a healthier relationship with food, appreciating what nourishes us.
Absolutely. Then we get to rule number 4. Surround yourself with good friends. This one really hits home, doesn't it?
It does. It goes back to what we talked about, community, yumimaru.
Yeah.
Having those close, supportive relationships, the ones that bring joy and laughter.
And there's even science behind it, right? Strong social connections can really boost your health.
For sure. Studies have shown that people with strong social networks tend to have lower blood pressure, stronger immune systems, and, yep, they even live longer.
It's like having a built-in support system for all of life's ups and downs.
Exactly.
Rule number 5 is get in shape for your next birthday. Seems pretty self-explanatory.
It is, but there's more to it than just hitting the gym. It's about finding ways to move that you actually enjoy, making movement a part of your everyday life, you know, choosing what feels good for your body.
Like they say, motion is lotion. Got to keep things moving.
And then they hit us with a simple one. Smile. Seems almost too easy.
I know, but I've read that smiling can actually affect your body.
Oh, yeah.
Releasing those feel-good hormones, reducing stress.
It's like a reminder to find those little joys, to cultivate a positive outlook, let your light shine. And it affects those around you, too.
And speaking of things that brighten our day, rule number 7 is reconnect with nature. This one really speaks to me.
It's about coming back to balance, realizing we're part of something bigger, connecting with that natural world, you know, feeling that sense of awe and wonder that nature brings.
Breathing fresh air, feeling the sun, really appreciating the beauty around us.
And studies show it's not just a feel-good thing. Spending time in nature can seriously help with stress, improve your mood, even boost your creativity.
It's like a reset button for the mind and body. Rule number 8 is give thanks. That's something we could all use a little more of, right? Especially in our culture.
It's about focusing on what we have, cultivating gratitude, appreciating those good things, big and small. There's research showing gratitude can make you happier, help you sleep better, even strengthen your relationships.
Shifting our perspective from what we lack to what we have, that's powerful.
And then there's rule number 9, live in the moment. It reminds me of that concept Ichi we touched on before.
Right, embracing the now, appreciating how unique and precious each moment is.
Letting go of the past, not worrying about the future, just being present. And you can practice that through mindfulness, meditation, or simply by really paying attention to what you're experiencing.
Tuning into those sensations, emotions, everything.
Exactly.
And finally, we reach rule number 10. Follow your Ikigai. It feels like this is what it all boils down to, you know?
It's like the North Star, guiding us towards a meaningful life. Finding that sweet spot where our passions, skills, and values come together to meet a need in the world.
And the book reminds us it's not like you find it once and you're done. It's an ongoing process, discovering, exploring, refining.
Yeah, it's about paying attention to what brings you joy, what makes you feel truly alive, what lets you make a difference.
It's like listening to that inner voice, trusting your gut, and moving towards a life that feels right for you.
And remember, like the book says, our Ikigai is different for all of us. But one thing we have in common is that we are all searching for meaning.
Mm-hmm.
When we spend our days feeling connected to what is meaningful to us, we live more fully. We're more engaged, more resilient in the face of challenges, and more likely to achieve a state of flow.
That's beautiful. It's like we all have this potential to find our own unique path.
We do. So, as we wrap up, I want to encourage you to think about what makes you happy, what makes time fly by, what gives you that feeling of purpose.
What are you curious about? What are you naturally drawn to? Explore those things, try new stuff, see where it leads. You might be surprised.
And remember, like those Orcanellan centenarians, find joy in the simple things. Embrace imperfection and never stop learning, never stop growing.
It's been an incredible journey diving into this world of Ikigai and longevity. Hopefully, you've picked up some insights you can use in your own life. Until next time, may you find joy in the journey and purpose in every step. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Books Podcast for more such amazing podcasts.